Yo, 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 what's going on, guys and girls? It's your boy Cam Legend. I hope all is well. And in this video, I'm going to be doing a presentation on how to balance cosmic energy. So, I do my videos when I can, where I can. Sometimes I'm outdoors in nature, no top on, just giving knowledge on what I know, sharing gems. But sometimes I like to do videos pre-recorded with the infographics to share the visuals so you can really process the things I speak about. Sometimes it's good just to hear audibly what I talk about because you can do Google searches and do your own research at the same time. That's what I do when I gain knowledge anyway. But today's video, I'm going to start something new and do a presentation because I do it privately with people who do consultations with me when we're working on a topic that they want to apply to their life, because everything I talk about is knowledge based, but I'm here to bridge the gap. It's so it can be practiced also. It's about collecting knowledge, using it as theory, and then putting it to practice. And this video is going to be a video how to implement and put the things I talk about into practice, okay? So let's get into this presentation. So, how to balance cosmic energy? Well, the cosmos is alluding to the universe. And we have a lot of philosophical texts that allude to how this exists, how the universe exists, how we exist. And if we look at texts like the Bible, it's astrotheology, speaking about the motions of the stars. And this all relates to us because in alchemy, one of the main principles is as above, so below, as within, so without. And that what is happening in the stars is actually happening here on Earth. And what is happening inside of us actually externalizes through our eyes. And this is why your inner verse, your organs could be in disarray, but people could see on the outside. You may have jaundice, your kidneys may be failing, and your skin may be inflamed. This is something happening in the inside of you. And this also reflects on the outside. And this is how everything corresponds in this universe. Everything has a correspondence. It's only down to your awareness to know what this correspondence is, okay? So when it comes to balancing cosmic energy, I'm alluding to the flow of life, because there's many variables to why you may be up and why you may be down. But ultimately, you need to harmonize these peaks and troughs of reality. And I hope I can explain more of that today. You see, the people that be, they studied ancient cosmology. They studied the greats. Then they reverse engineered this and gave us technology and gave us artificial light to run their simulation here on Earth. So I call them the people that be because ultimately we are the power. And we give power to these external energies. Sovereignty is taking back your energy and directing it to a place where you gain all powers from it. Okay, so let's get into this. So one of the ways to understand cosmology is the movement of the stars. Astrology obviously comes under the dominion of cosmic energy, because the universe composes of celestial bodies. And the Bible is a good place to start if you read it from a perspective of openness. The 12 Zodiac signs is actually alluding to the 12 disciples, and this is why you see the word disc. In order to break down the illusions of this reality, the matrix, you have to understand everything we read is enigmatic. There's a riddle within it all. Etymology breaks down the study of this reality. Balancing cosmic energy should be a core, fundamental practice told to us. But obviously, the people that be withheld information for the benefit of themselves. So the 12 zodiac signs is an allegory for the 12 disciples. And it's actually parables speaking about the cycle of energy. The 12 disciples can also be known as your 12 cranial nerves, because there's a divine correspondence with this number 12. And this number 12 simplified is the number 3. And then if you tap into the number 3, you know that there's heaven, hell, earth, mind, body, soul, physical, mental, spiritual. Each zodiac sign is associated to archetypal energies, elemental energies, and they have signatures. When they create different motionary angles with different stars, they create aspects. This can be known as the angels of light. You see, different star signs are associated to different elemental energies here on this physical realm, such as earth, air, fire, and water. And they all have archetypal energies associated to them, such as being fired up, angry, or being calm, mellow, being logical, a thinker. You see what they do? They change words. So something that is mathematical, such as angles, is now given in a mythological point of view, such as angels. So angels do exist, but they exist within angles, sacred geometry, mathematics. This is why I like to demystify things. So when you're talking about Archangel Michael, because L means electricity, electricity is alluding to light. This is what it means. Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel, El. Maybe within your name you might see El or Il if your name is Arabic, such as my name, which is Kamil. Jabril is Gabriel, because Islam and Christianity come under the umbrella of Abrahamic religion. And AB is alluding to the number 3. This is why it's Judaism, Christianity, Islam. It makes a nice magic triangle. And they borrow names. They just switch around certain spelling. So Jabril, Kamil are just variations of the same name, which goes under the umbrella of Aramaic languages or Semite languages. They confuse the masses with languages. When you study language, you start to see the divine syncretism. I live abroad and I see that a lot of the words we use go into sync with even words from an Eastern philosophical point of view. They divided man with words. So certain angles can be harmonious, while some can create conflicts. But by understanding the fundamental elements of each zodiac sign, we can counterbalance the negative effects. The science of astrology always has a solution, even if the problem appears troublesome. In order to balance cosmic energy, one must be disciplined. You see the word disc again. And flow with the natural motions of life. You must dial it in. So energy refracts here on earth. And light is the densest form of creation. So this is why it takes time to manifest things sometimes. Because it has to go back to source, back to oneness. And it has to go through different variables of light. This is why I say you need to be a light body. Go on a fast. Detoxify your body. So when you hear the term light body or being a light being, it's being so translucent that you can receive light codes with clairvoyance and know how to pivot your energy moving forward. Whereas when you're dense, it's harder to understand this information being sent to you, which now puts you out of balance with your higher self. So your intuition is telling you something, you're receiving cosmic insight, but the physical body doesn't know how to compute that. So with being the light body, you become disciplined because you understand these archetypal energies and what to do with them and how to stay in harmony with self and stay within the natural flow and rhythm of life. But you need to gain the information through study, theory, practice to even comprehend the information being given to you. So aspects, we have names for them when certain planets are creating certain angles. Conjunction, which is usually when two planets or more are in the same position, varying by 6 degrees. So the most notable conjunction we had was the Saturn and Jupiter one last year. And it represents amplified energies, marking a rebirth, a transformation, amplified energies. And we saw a lot of events happen at this time. And we're also going to see The Matrix this year be released 1 year after that, the new Matrix movie. But you see, the Great Conjunction had a lot of people confused because a lot of people thought that this Great Conjunction meant that they were going to transcend into this spiritual being and have all these superpowers that were said, right? But only for the chosen ones, only for the people that woke up and transcended and ascended in consciousness. A lot of people didn't make it. A lot of people succumbed to the Saturnian energy. So the Jupiterian energy meant expansion, but the Saturnian energy meant contraction, which means you got binded to the patriarchal system, which is brutality, which is shut up and do what I say, shut up and take these mandatories and things of this nature. So this is why the Great Conjunction was so polarizing. Some people woke up, some people fell and drowned to the severities of the Matrix. Then you have opposition, which is just polarity. So when it comes to balancing energy, in this essence, you could be feeling yourself in a happy space, but you may be opposed to that energy. There may be some people hating on you. This is due to the opposition, the ops. Then you have the square, which is a four-sided shape. And to contain energy is conflict, contraction. But within the square, it allows you to grow. You have to fight these energies. So let's say you feel that you are worthy. There's going to be an energy to square that off. There's going to be energies that will literally fight you to prove you're more powerful, show why you're chosen. So it's a square off. The matrix is a square. It's a cube. So understand it's not going to be easy balancing energy. It's going to literally be a fight. It's literally going to be a square off. Now you have the trine. And anytime you see the word tri, understand it's relating to the number 3, triangle, trigonometry, triad, tricycle, and so on and so forth. This is a time of good luck. We see the universe loves the number 3. A triangle, another name for a triangle is a pyramid. It's just now become 3D. And Pira is another name for fire. And in alchemy, the fire symbol is a pyramid, is an upward triangle. And this is how you manifest. when you meditate in the lotus style position, you are actually creating the pyramid formation. Your body is the base archetypal structure to create the pyramid, okay? So this is how you can get energies upwards to balance this cosmic energy. You can be so creative. When there's a great trine, know this is a time to be meditating for good luck. This is why I like to study cosmic energy, because it now opens this infinite possibility of manifestations with the utilization of ancient philosophies that has thousands and millions of people piggybacking off these beliefs. You now have sextile, which is flow and ease, because it's the combination of energies coming together. Where it creates that X, understand that's the 0 point. And energy loves harmony, flow, ease. Sex is alluding to 6, which is a sacred number. When we look at the atom, you see a hexagon, which is a 6-sided shape. And if you look at the Star of David, which is just 2 alchemical symbols, one upwards, one downwards, it creates the same hex. And that's not a coincidence. That's ancient knowledge being merged with science. So 6 is sex. And that's how we came here. Not just physically, metaphysically. Because the cross is actually a cube when you put it all together. And this cube now makes a 6-sided shape. I'm teaching you dimensions here. So we have minor aspects, we have major aspects. This is varying in degrees, and this is a bit more advanced intermediary, but I'll be simplifying balancing cosmic energy because you just need to know the elements first, then you can work with these aspects. But you see, conjunction is usually in the same sign. It's around 0 to 6 degrees. A square makes a 90 degrees angle. A trine makes a 120 degrees angle. So it's nothing foreign to somebody who knows basic mathematic principles. Astrology and astronomy is where we actually studied the mathematics to this reality. And I just want to quickly show you the bottom where you see the numbers divide in fractions. Like I was saying before, sex is 60 degrees angle. And the more it divides, you start to see the numbers reduce. And 72 degrees is actually a microcosm of you. So look at 1/5. It's actually making the pentagram, and the pentagram is you. You are the star. 72 degrees, reduce that to 9. 9 is a highly symbolic spiritual number also. 9, divine. These are the words we use today embedded with numerical value. Arm, leg, arm, head. Those are your 5 points. So anytime you see the star, it's actually relating to you. If you've ever drawn a 5-point star or pentagram, you know that you use a compass. You make 5 points every 72 degrees. So this is how you can gain more awareness of self and cosmic energy. If you was to connect the dots to a pentagram, its outer shell would be a pentagon. And we see pentagon symbolism everywhere, and understand that the pentagon, like when we see it in the States, right, this is equating to physical matters. 5 is the body. You have 5 fingers on each hand. You have 5 toes on each feet. You have 5 senses, 5 physical senses. The 6th sense is unlocking a new perceived awareness. So this is how it all correlates to you. Cosmic energy, you are a microcosmic being. Okay? So always understand that. When we look and pertain to energies that speak about the universe, you are the universe too. Because you was made of these same elements. You was made of these same fragments of light. So it's always important for me to address that, to demystify things, to demystify the spookism to things, because a lot of people get scared of knowledge, scared of truth. Truth is not scary, but truth is the unknown. That's what gravitates the masses away from knowledge of self. And that is why people can hold dominion over you, because they know thyself, so they know how to grow and be larger than life. So this slide is further explaining the aspects, and we see what it actually means. But this is how you actually become an alchemist. What you should do for people just trying to understand practical ways to actually implement this, you go on a search engine, Google, .go, and you search transit starting in December, and you stay ahead of time. And on their website, they'll usually have explanations for you. Instead of always having to know the knowledge inside and out, it can explain it to you, and you know, okay, it's going to be in a transit this month, so I should be focusing on this. So for example, we're in November now, Sun is trining Neptune. So you know that a trine brings good luck, talents, and opportunities can be shown through this light. So you focus on that. And if you know anything about your planets, you know that Neptune is a planet of illusions, dreams, your visions, your imagination harnesses Neptunian energy. So this is a vital time to focus on your dreams. You have to understand that people that give you a lot of distractions in planetary alignments that can actually elevate you to be a higher vibratory being, see more success in the things that you like and do. Okay? So this is it. Simplify your attainment of knowledge and put it more into practice. Understanding degrees and all these kind of things is great, but you have to work with a fundamental basis, and I'm going to be further simplifying as we progress through the slides. So the next slide, this will really help you simplify universal energy. On this planet Earth, Malkuth, this kingdom, we are surrounded by 4 corners. 4 elements, and these 4 corners make a square. We are a densification of these energies. Everything around us is a densification of these energies, and these energies are known as fire, air, earth, water. Now, in astrology, these archetypal energies are also associated with the elemental energies. So 12 zodiacs divide into 4, and we have 3 zodiac signs in each element. So you may look at your natal chart and say, oh, I'm an Aries, that's why I'm so hot-headed and fired up. But your natal chart will also show you other aspects. So your moon sign may be in Pisces. So when people get to know you, they see a softer side to you, an emotional side to you. You may be with your girlfriend, she sees the other side to you. When you're with your friends, they see the other side to you. Because within you, there is 360 degrees aspects of self. This is why we can have multiple faces. We have people who are bipolar or have alter egos. This can be explained. But in terms of understanding transits and balancing cosmic energy, you have to do some kind of mathematics, mental mathematics, to harmonize transits. So we're in Scorpio season, which is a water sign. So we have to balance that out. Okay? So this is what I'm going to be explaining further now. The 4 elements are present all around and within you. They are essential to all life. You and the universe are formed by these 4 elements: earth, air, water, fire. These elements go beyond the physical and manifest as personality traits and energetic forces too. These elements are here to bring balance. Fire needs water to be quenched, and earth needs the wind to move it, aka air. Your personality might contain more fire and less water, contributing to specific distinctions in your outlook on life and how you express yourself. The elements of your personality can be balanced, just like nature. Each element carries its own set of qualities. This is why we have different personalities. Some people are timid, shy. Some people love attention. Some people like confrontation. Some people like to be alone. This can usually be explained through a natal chart reading. No element is inherently good or bad. Everything just is. They each carry an equal amount of positive, negative traits. Check out some of the attributes to some of these elements. So just like you have personality traits, the universe has personality traits. Gaia, Earth, has personality traits. Everything corresponds. So we have different modalities composed in our natal chart. Someone could be fire dominant, but lack water, lack emotion. Some people may have too much air in their chart. So they speak a lot, but they don't listen. But somebody could have a lot of air in their chart, but be highly intelligent because they receive knowledge through the air, through the ethers. Whereas somebody who's an earth sign gains a lot of their knowledge from nature, the ground, the uprooting of energies. Or you could be a water sign and receive a lot of insight through your emotions. You can feel when the energy's off. You know where to gravitate your energy to and where not to, because you're sensitive to cosmic energy, the people around you. You can feel the vibe. So each 4 elements have different superpowers, let's just say. And the more we tune in, the more we can navigate through this reality. Natal chart, navigate. Na. Anytime you see the word na, it's talking about the slimy, snaky essence of you, the reptilian essence of you. Naga is another name for a snake. So you have the ability to shapeshift and know how to speak with people, how to relate with others, how to slowly put somebody down in rejection. These are aspects of self that is embedded in our shadow. So to balance cosmic energy, you must focus on your internal energy and space, as you're also made up of these 4 elements. Based on your natal chart and the current transit of the stars, you may be subjected to opposing energies such as sudden laziness and lack of motivation. You may think it's a random phase that you're going through, but it's actually cosmic energies and external factors colliding with your internal hardware. Like I said, sometimes you feel like you're on top of the moon and everything's going your way, full of life, vibrant, doing the same things. This can even be like, for example, going to the gym, you're going at the same time, but you're not getting the same output. yeah, it's usually a wear and tear of consecutively going into fatigue, but it can also be due to the alignments of these celestial energies. Like, for example, I like to study how I feel on certain planetary alignments. And I can tell you, like, when we're in Taurus and the moon is in Capricorn, the energies feel really dense. Time is slow. I feel sluggish. I feel stubborn. And these energies feel stubborn. There's nothing I can do in this 2.5 day transit of the moon going through Capricorn. And I can tell people, because we're going through the same transition of energies. It's energy in motion. So in this example, we're talking about 2 earth elements. Earth is the most densest element. It's the most physical element, which means it's going to be the most slowest vibration. Whereas air is going to be a higher vibration, because air has no form. It's a spirit. When we say stuff like, oh, something feels airy, I can feel it in the air. From a negative point of view, that's usually when we're in a vibration of negative energy. So it's now forming into dense spaces of light to the point you can feel it. But if you're in nature, you can breathe, because this element of air is full of life, oxygen. The trees are growing. The fruits are healthy. The air is clean. The water is clean. So yeah, your natal chart is a snapshot of the position of stars when you were born. These expressions of light are expressed through your personality traits. So that's it. When you're born, it's a snapshot of who you are, and it's embedded into you. And some of these energies may be dormant and may be expressed. Let's just say in a Saturn return, you're 29.5 years old. You're going through a cycle of contraction. So now you have to understand Saturnian energy. You have to work harder than you've ever done before and things of this nature, because you're now going into your 30s, and this is when people start to have midlife crises and things of this nature because of these cycles. So now you have to grow some wings and become a new version of yourself and things of this nature. So you have to tap into certain energies, because when you're born, for this example, we talk about the Saturn return that comes which comes every 29.5 years. Saturn goes back into that transit 29.5 years later. So the information that was embedded into you may become apparent at 29. So the 4 elements is also speaking about the 4 seasons. We also have a hotel company called 4 Seasons, right? And cardinal energy is usually associated to energies that starts things off. So Aries is the first house. It's the first astrological month. And if you have Aries in your chart, like me, I have it in my moon, I do a lot of things that usually takes time for people to catch up to, because I have a vision. I see where the energy is going in the future. People don't see or respect my vision, but over time they see it. And it takes me a time to see the 360 degree of some of the things I put out in this world. Astrotheologically, Aries is known as the head. It's also known as the RAM. And it's no coincidence that computers have a RAM chip. And if you reverse the word RAM, you have Mars. Mars is also known as the god of war. So Aries is the initiator. Cancer is another season that is cardinal. This is what we know as summer. Aries is spring. Libra is the fall or autumn. Capricorn is winter. So this energy is an initiator. We then have different modalities which are fixed, like Leo, set in stone, Taurus, set in stone, stubborn energy, Aquarius, Scorpio. And right now, as we are in this Scorpio transit, our emotions may feel very fixated on certain situations playing out here on earth. Fixated to the point we dwell on something either good or bad, or fixated on habits and beliefs. But with Scorpio, there's a transformation, death, rebirth, an awakening of your consciousness due to external energies playing out cosmically. Then we have mutable, which is the ability to shapeshift. I'm a Pisces sun. It's known as the fish. If you look at a fish, it evades. It knows how to sense danger in a big ocean of sharks, dolphins, bigger prey. Whereas a Scorpio bites back. It's a solid physical creature with a strong physical structure because it's going into that Taurus energy, which is the polarization of Scorpio, because it's opposed to it 180 degrees. Virgo is mutable. It's known as house of bread, Bethlehem, because it has the ability to transform and rise like Christ. All these things we read is allegorical. And when you study Hebrew, study some other languages and find out what these real texts are really saying, you'll see the divine syncretism. Libra, known as the scales. The sign of Libra is also the sign known as law. Good, bad, justice, injustice. It's the fall. So these archetypal energies are internal and external. So innerstand modalities. So currently we're in Scorpio season. It's a fixed water sign, which means the collective consciousness is going to feel a deep sense of their emotions. And due to the deep depths of Scorpio, which is also starting in the month of October, oct means 8, octogram, octagon, octopus. These are deeper sea creatures that lie at the lowest depths of the water. And water holds information. It's not possible for us to go deepest depths of the water physically because we're not made for that. But you can scuba dive, right? So octopus gain knowledge of the seas, and there's a polarized, enigmatic reality playing out because octopus look very much alien-like. They shapeshift, they can change colors. And although we do see this in nature with chameleons, the way that octopuses and squids shapeshift is quite alien to me. But then they say aliens are in the stars. So you have to understand everything exists here right now on this earthly plane. We can see it above, we can see it below. And it's no coincidence that Squid Games is tapping into the deeper consciousness of people, the subconscious mind, speaking about debt and the physical attraction to money and what people would do and how it's hardwired into them. It's kind of going into other aspects, maybe even like H.P. Lovecraft and the energies that is associated to some of these squids that are shown and depicted. Because they say if you want to gain money, you need to understand certain energies in the underworld hold dominion on that, okay? But that's for another video. So cosmic and internal grounding is necessary during this time. So you want to be grounding. If it's water, you need to ground it with physical energy, physical action. And that's what I'll be getting onto in the next slide. Scorpio is known as that spirit totem that bites back. This is how you become disciplined. Because you're staying stubborn, focused on your elevation, your ascension. Distractions are usually rife and prevalent during this period. So focus is needed more than ever at this time. So just going onto Google, you can find out more information about an astrological sign. Google is there, it's your friend. We're not going to talk about other stuff Google do with your data, but use the data to gain knowledge. Don't let it gain knowledge on you. So we're seeing a lot of death during this time. But like I say, it can be death of consciousness because some people are waking up by hook or by crook to how this reality works. Everything ain't peaches and cream here on earth. So you wake up, you transcend from a caterpillar to a butterfly, and you have to grow, expand your wings. It's a time to be passionate, like I said, be driven, sacrifice your lower primordial energies, sacrifice your lower urges, and transmute it. This is why No Not November or No Fap is in the month of November. It's in that transit because astrology, astrophysiology shows you that Scorpio rules for sexual organs. So it's time to be transmuting your life force and turning it into gold. I've also put some infographics associated with Scorpio. This is vital for gaining knowledge on the energies and just being aware. Once you put something into your awareness, your consciousness, your subconscious mind will compute that. Although you may not have Scorpio in certain positions of your natal chart, you still have the ability to tap into those energies. Actually, there is something known as spirit totems or animal totems, which is the ability to tap into certain energies of animals. If you have a powerful imagination, it can be easy for you to do. You can literally program your subconscious mind to tap into certain energy signatures, because that's all it is. Remove the label, you're just tapping into these energies, but they associate to an animal. More aspects of the element of water. If you're somebody who needs physical tools, working with crystals definitely work. Crystals are one of the most densest physical creations. Crystal, Christos, Christ, crystalline structures of light that takes years and years to form itself. And when you hold a crystal, you program it, you consecrate it with your energies. That's why crystals work. When you look at electromagnetism, and I've done videos explaining how working with black crystals absorbs EMF, you really understand crystals hold frequencies. Everything holds frequencies, but these frequencies are more dense. If you're creative, working with the color blue, drawing things, wearing things, because these are all just spectrums of light. Your subconscious mind computes them. It can calm you down. Seeing the color blue can calm you down. This is why companies study and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on psychology, colorology. Certain plants and fruits can calm your state. We are made up of 70 to 8% water. This is why it's so easy to change our emotions just by watching a TV program, just by watching a documentary, just by hearing bad news, just by hearing good news, feeling on top of the world, feeling lower than low, depressed, because water holds memory and water is subjected to motions. Eating fruit and vegetables is a given. Drinking tea, green tea to calm you down is a given. These are all the things you can do to calm yourself. So, modalities: earth, air, fire, water. This was taken from Labyrinthos, shout out to them. And it's showing the relations of these modalities when they are combined. And this is taken from the concept of tarot, which is relating to astrology, the truth of life, and how things actually manifest here on this realm and metaphysically. Now, in this instance, I'm speaking about the element of water because we are in Scorpio season. And it shows you that water and fire cancel each other out. And fire relates to taking action. It relates to your desires. So to cancel the intensive energies of your emotions that could be for good or bad, you can take action on your goals. It weakens the effects of your emotions and you have the ability to transmute that. So if you have doubt and worry, do something about it. Transmute this energy. And then you see water. Water combined with water amplifies the good and bad aspects of that. So the deeper you're meditating and pondering on your emotions, the more positively charged it will be. But then you have the ability to say, okay, I really want to focus on my passions and goals, which now has to be polarized through fire, taking action. But then you could also be so deep in your emotions, you become stagnant. Everything's just in your mind. Analysis paralysis, thinking and pondering so much that you paralyze your state, your consciousness. Now we have support. Now the element of air combined with water. It's neutral. It has no effect on another. So air's your intellect, your thinking, how you relate with others and things in this realm, because it goes hand in hand with your emotions. So you have the ability to vocalize how you feel. You have the ability to write how you feel. Then earth, which is grounding. Through thinking and feeling, you now take action. Maybe you write a blog. Maybe you communicate through social medias. You tell the world. You create content. You start a business. You start an idea. You have the ability to ground that. And with grounding comes satisfaction. If there's a lot of chaos, you can ground in nature. Grounding is a real science. You balance the energies because there's positive ions, negative ions. So you balance the energies of negative ions and positive ions. If you're too positively charged, you're literally putting stress on the mind, just like a battery when it's fully charged. If you keep it on the charge over time, it deteriorates. So there's a push and pull of energy. You need to be somewhere in the middle. So in this slide, I've obviously circled water for you because this is the transit that we are in. So Earth looks like it has the best solution for a transit like this. So you need to be responsible, practical, experience life, be reliable, be consistent, continually doing the same practices over and over again. If that's focusing on your craft, if that's meditating every day, if that's going out in nature every day, 20 minutes of contemplation or nothingness, allowing your mind to not think about things for at least 20 minutes a day, clears your thoughts. Ultimately, your soul wants to experience. That's why you're here on this physical realm. So sometimes you need to be passive to experience things to come to you. It's not an energy of idleness, because with stillness, it allows intuition to come into your auric field. It allows new birth, regeneration of your cells to be awake. in newer levels of consciousness. So cosmic grounding is staying consistent in transits of chaos. A lot of people may fall in this season, known as the fall, but some people may grow, plant new seeds in the period of the fall. Just like farmers plant their seeds at certain seasons, like the fall, you're harvesting, because once it gets to summer, or even before that, the ideas, the thoughts, the seeds you planted now blossom into something larger than life. So this is the time to continually focus. I like to make my content spiritual based, but practical at the same time. I'm trying to bridge this gap, because with all the things that I've manifested in my life, I've understood that it wasn't just me doing what I want to do. There was a mental and spiritual part of me, aspect of me that was in harmony with my physical self. And I think any productive person can always attend to that. There was other variables involved in their spiritual, mental, physical progression. It can be something as simple as your environment, the people you're around, the mind state that you are in. Because an anxious person will find it hard to find a way out. But if they're an alchemist, an anxious person could do something about that. So you need to feel your senses. Carl Jung, psychologist, says the earth element is sensation. So your 5 physical senses. What do you feel? What are you experiencing? You're responsible for your feelings too. If you allow somebody or some energy to take you out of your harmonious alignment, ultimately it's on you. You allow them to penetrate your auric space. You allow them to play on your emotions because you didn't ground it. So this is a thing that a lot of people have troubles and issues with, but it's not solely down to them. Because when we went to school, was we told about meditation? Was we told about grounding? Was we told about our spiritual self? And not from a point of history and Bible bashing or historical events. No, we wasn't. So it's about awareness, consciousness, knowing that within your 5 senses, the universe tells you things. Your system works autonomously. If you're hungry, you just naturally go eat. But you also have the ability to say, no, I'm going to back off. I want to be conscious of this feeling of being hungry. I don't have to take action on that feeling. And this is how you gain control of habits. Like for me, example, I'm producing a lot of content and I'm not perfect. I sleep at random times right now and things of this nature. And it's kind of taken me out of whack of my circadian rhythm. And this ultimately can allow me to be a bit frantic, but I know I'm sacrificing right now to get the work done, to do things that is going to change and elevate my circumstances and help people at the same time. So I'm sacrificing parts of my physical self to build a stronger connection with my spiritual and mental self. So you have to be malleable sometimes. There's a guide to work with, but sometimes, especially in a transit like this, you have to sacrifice. Sacrifice in sleep, because you can always catch up on sleep, but you have to understand there's a sleep debt too. But ground ultimately. Transits are temporary. Cosmic energy changes as we see. So sometimes do what it takes, always ground yourself and look at the longer goal, because that can put things into perspective. We have the ability to discern truth. Everything ain't set in stone. And you build more resilience time and time after again, consistency time and time after again. You look at the greats, maybe in sports, maybe in the sports industry. Before they became what they came and were showcased on TV and platforms, they had to do a lot of sacrificing. They had a lot of sleepless nights. They had a lot of nights of waking up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. But that goes against the natural guidelines, right? Because it says you need to get 6 to 7 hours of sleep to function well, right? This is all true. But with temporary sacrifice, self-speak, and affirming that what you're doing is true to your higher self, you can be able to get past your senses and tap into that sixth sense. But it does come with that awareness of grounding. Because if we was to look at the keywords and see, okay, responsibility, so you're responding to your situation. So if you know you need to do the work and you have to do it in a certain time period, but you don't have a lot of time, because time is something you can't get back. And there's a crazy transit like the Grand Trine, like I was speaking about before, then you know within this period of time, you have to take certain actions because you are the physical flesh and you have to be practical about it and experience it. So when it does come to a time where you can put your foot down and rest a little bit because you did a lot of work in this period of time, you now catch up with your physical self because you quantumly went to somewhere spiritually and mentally which was out of this world, producing a lot of content, producing your best work, sleepless nights. But then when you come back here on earth and you ground yourself here on earth, you'll be like, wow, I did this. I was Superman. I was Superwoman. I did something that I didn't think I could achieve. But I went somewhere consciously out of this world, out of this earthly element. And I'm grateful for that as I now put myself in a slower vibration of grounding, earthing. It was a great experience. And I can rely on myself because I know I can go into a different aspect of myself, which was larger than life. This is what great people do. They tap into things above the norm of this earthly realm, and they're seen as superhuman. People respect work rate. People respect people that have high output. Even if it's not qualitative, people still respect people's quantity. And over time of working with consistency, showing up every day, doing the same thing every day, if that's making 10 beats a day or 20 beats a day, 30 beats a day, people still respect that because that's a work rate that is God-given, that is godly. And then over time of being able to show up every day, build consistency, it now becomes higher in quality because you have the ability to dial it in. So sometimes you do need to leave your five senses and tap into that sixth sense. So this can be seen in any perspective, right? Because the tree of life and cosmic energy is such a broad way of looking at things. Nature plays out in certain ways. We are also nature. We have sub-modalities that we're within, situations that we're within, experiences that we're within. There's supposedly billions of people in this realm, right? They're experiencing different types of situations right now. So it's a broad perspective. Awaken your consciousness to that so you have the ability to think outside the box. Because look at the diagram, it's a box, right? We are all living in some type of box, some type of bubble. But you've got to burst that bubble and broaden your horizons so that this imaginary square or imaginary bubble becomes so broad in length that you're able to handle different situations, you're able to experience different situations and build up so much experience that you have confidence. They say God only gives you what you can handle. So if your bubble is too comfortable, you can't expect God to bless you with things you can't handle. Okay? So take care of your health so that you have the ability to do things superhuman. Be stable with your mind state, your finances. If you know you got rent to pay end of the month, Don't do something about it 2 days before. Do something 2, 3, 4 weeks before that. Be ahead of time. That's how you become responsible. Yes, we want to gain heightened spiritual enlightenment or superpowers, but still remember you're here on earth, okay? So you just balance that. Do things that your higher self is going to bless you for, thank you for, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, 5 years down the line. Your higher self and your physical self is going to bless you that you took action. Even to people that are unhealthy or live an unhealthy diet. If they could rewind time before they got diseases and things of this nature, like we're seeing with this pandemic is usually hurting people that didn't take care of themselves, or overweight people, or people that were always saying, oh, I'm going to go on a diet tomorrow, I'm going to go on a diet tomorrow, or next month, and it never happens. Then boom, pandemic, chaos, nervousness. Now your body's susceptible to foreign energies, and there's nothing you can do about that because time keeps on traveling, because time keeps on moving. So next slide. So water and water amplifiers, good or bad. So like I said before, your emotions. In creative visualization, you can use your emotions of anger and fear, frustration, and charge up your visualizations to actually do something about that. And your subconscious mind is usually receptive to that because most people get a lot of things done when they are under pressure, when they are angry. We may have friends that doubted us, family members that doubted us, and that was the energy that spurred us on to actually do something about them, just to prove somebody wrong, just to prove them wrong, right? And there's nothing wrong or right with that. But that's usually an energy of force, which is competition, which is proving people wrong, which is leveling up around a smaller sphere of light, aka your friends and family. But that's how you build confidence. Because when you prove people wrong who are closer to you, you know that you can do it. The trials and tribulations that athletes go through, which is usually competition-based trials, having to prove you're better than the other player because it's going to allow you to get picked. They then get used to adversity, so when there's 20, 30,000 fans booing at them because of a poor performance, usually they bounce back, they handle that pressure. Everything is pressure in this reality. Everything is pressure turns into diamonds, crystalline. So resilience, your habits. When you're down in the dumps, some people may resort to vices, alcohol, drugs, laziness, giving up. So this is when the energies is too amplified in a spectrum of light that doesn't bring happiness, but sorrow. But if you have the ability to reverse that with grounding and taking action, like I just said in the previous slide, you can do that. Your intuition will tell you, what do you want to do right now? Your intuition will tell you what is beneficiary for me and myself and my higher self and the people around me. So you now take action on that. You heal yourself. Is reading about the pandemic and the death rate really healing you? Or is it making you feel some type of way, angry? So heal yourself. Put yourself first. We live in a world where we have a complex of always trying to help people, maybe as a social justice warrior or performative, protesting on the social medias. Because we relate to injustice. It's natural to do this by human nature. We relate to suffering because we all suffer one way or another. But you should heal yourself first. Be a spectrum of light that is so high and vibratory that you show that it can be overcome through focusing on yourself first, focusing on your mind state first, healing yourself first, so much to the point you can help others, being a conduit of light that shows strength. So put yourself first. and spirituality. You see, spirit has no form, but spirit affects us. But spirit is real. Just look at this logically. If reading about tragedy can affect your spirit, but it's not physical in form, this means it does something to our morphogenic field, which is invisible with the naked eye. If watching our favorite sports team score a goal on TV, but we're not there in the physical flesh, that means it's the spirit of the team that gives us joy. Not just about meditation, not just about enlightenment. Everything is spirit. It's invisible, but it's real. It exists. I demystify everything. I demystify the spookism to spirit. Our ability to feel is due to our emotions. That holds memory within our subconscious mind, which is associated to our habits, because water holds memory. Just like you breathe unconsciously without thought, it's the same way your subconscious mind does things in a state of chaos. So make sure you deep breathe to bring that conscious breath back in. We have the parasympathetic system, and within that word you see sympathetic, sympathize. So doing further studies in your nervous system can help you alleviate your nervousness, your anxiousness. Breathing, conscious breathing helps you to connect to your feelings. Me personally, after I've done conscious breathing, I like to work on my entrepreneurial endeavors. That calms me down, to be honest. I'm a busybody. I do have periods of time where I do like to rest because I do put my body under physical strain. But this is a habit of working under pressure. Some people can work under pressure. Some people fold under pressure. And this is attributed to your habits. There's a book called Atomic Habits, which speaks about how habits work. And you see the word atomic, which means it's memory within, which means your habits are held within your cells, because everything is an atom, including your cells. So your cells hold memory, and certain cues activate these habits. If somebody smokes a cigarette, it may just be the fact that they see a lighter and they hear the flick of the sound of that lighter turning on, which makes them want to pick up a cigarette again. So you have to tap into the subatomic. So that cue would be atomic, right? But you have an ability to tap into the subatomic particle, which is the awareness, the consciousness that you are addicted to cigarettes, you are addicted to the sound and the paraphernalia that's associated with it, but you're going to do something about that. You break that habit. So sometimes to break a habit, you have to remove all things that trigger it. You're taking action from a subatomic aspect of that, which also ties into the subconscious. So before something becomes conscious, it has to go through that subliminal valve. So you remove things so it's not a conscious thought at all. You then have fire, which cancels each other out. Your energy, your willpower, desire, courage, power. So you're taking action to cancel out the negative traits of the element of water. Are you being courageous with your goals? Are you doing what it takes? Are you putting up the energy required to bring your goals manifest? It takes a lot of willpower and desire to do this. But firstly, one must be courageous. How do you gain energy? How do you have more energy? By eating the right foods, maybe fasting, by not squandering your energy, by understanding your energy is sacred, by focus, fixating on your desires, which allows you to escape drowning in the sorrow. So really focus here. So focus on your physical energy, which is earth, and focus on your desire, which is willpower, and transmute this allegorical term, base metal into gold. Now, air, which is neutral, your awareness, your intelligence to know that you should be grounding, you should be taking action, is the equalizer. So with logic, you be practical. What is the best thing to be doing right now? Is thinking about your goals beneficial to you? Yes. Is thinking about Kim Kardashian and the daily gossip beneficiary to you right now? No. It's simple logic. It's common sense. It's your awareness. We live in a world where a lot of people just dumb down, letting time go. You have the intelligence to know that you can be doing something better. And then you tap into this cosmic intelligence, these archangels, these higher spiritual guides that can help you and assist you bring your things manifest. People don't believe in the spiritual side of things because they lack intelligence. This is for the people that don't believe, I'm just saying. But once you tap into these archetypal energies and see that they're actually real, you gain intelligence. Tahuti. I saw the deeper depths of Tahuti and the emerald tablets, kybalion, when I was able to tap into a higher vibration of thought. And Tahuti rules thoughts, your thinking. That's why Tahuti, thoughts, things, is tapping into the letters TH. Anytime you see the word TH, just know it's speaking about Tahuti, which is a real spiritual deity. But your intelligence can only gain this awareness through actually working with these elements, speaking things into existence, manifesting true desires. That's when you come to the realization that all this is real. Whereas a dumbed down individual who's never actually manifested anything in their life of true purpose will say this is all BS. So think and feel and tap into your senses, because truth never lies. You know when truth hits you. So in a transit like this, make sure you're communicating, relating with others, speaking to others, seeing how they feel, because you're the one thinking, right? Next slide. And this is also showing all the traits associated with these four elements. So really use this as a guide. Really understand this isn't a concept that is far out there. Look at the words associated with these elements. You know, it's not something crazy. It's quite logical and sensible. It's not a crazy concept. And the more you work with this structure of how to balance cosmic energy, being a mental alchemist, you'll see this system will show you more. Because ultimately, this is a hermetic law, a universal law. And a lot of people believe it to be true because all is mind. And when you believe something to be true, you're only going to get more intuition, more feedback from this system. This is why people believe in what they believe, and you can't tell them otherwise because they've seen things and felt things and experienced things to believe to the point where they believe it to be true. And you can't take that away from them. We are all manifesting our own lives. We all have our own beliefs because we are the ones who conspire to make it true. So be open to this system if you've never used it before, or if you're using it already, tap in more to what is being said, because I believe this will be beneficiary to you. I've seen the synchronistic events that's happened to my life through understanding cosmic energy, understanding the four elements of this world, understanding there's different depths of understanding. Understanding is based fundamental knowledge that the information is out there so you understand what is being told to you. Innerstanding is from the aspect that you've experienced this and you've seen this to be true. Then overstanding is the awareness that this affects others. So when people are going crazy, when people are being emotional, because people are using this information against them, you can't be too angry at them because they have a lack of awareness, a lack of understanding, understanding. So of course they don't overstand it. But when you overstand things, you also know that you shouldn't use information like this against people. But we have some people who do, you know. With overstanding, you become the overseer. So you observe. So you observe how the world's going crazy, but you understand that's just a perspective. That's just a percentage. And then you know there's people that are living their best lives because they understand energy. They understand focusing on negativity is only going to give you more negativity. Next slide. So again, just some other characteristics and information on Scorpio. Like I said, you can use crystals to help tap you into these energies. When it comes to decoding, there's levels to it. Even something as simple as typing up the definition of passionate, transformation, and then seeing what those words mean. Thoughts is not bound by limitation. Doing something as simple as saying, I am passionate, I am passionate, I am passionate. Your mind now affirms that. I am organized, I am organized, I am organized. Now your mind is associating everything to organization. Maybe you want to tidy up your room now because you're saying you're organized, because these words hold frequency, vibration. So when you hear the word organized, your subconscious mind is now associating everything to organized. And then there's the unconscious mind that may be tapping into organization or organs or your organs, because your subconscious mind looks at everything associated with the word organized. So it sees the word organ. So this is how people bring things here, manifest unconsciously, because there's different aspects to the same word. This is why when we look at a lot of words that we spell, it may mean multiple things, but the conscious mind doesn't differentiate that, but the subconscious mind does. So be aware, be conscious. So this is the presentation done. If you like this, please comment, let me know what you think. Any more suggestions, let me know. If you're looking to do a consultation with me, my information is in the description box. If you want to see more content like this, let me know. If you're looking to do a natal chart reading, to find your purpose, tap into energies that naturally work with you, amplify your real goals and manifestations, and also assist you to live a life of balance and harmony. Okay? Peace.